mentioned, welcome everyone to the Section 12J webinar on a wonderful resort in Eastern Cape, an established one that Luis will be talking about on behalf of his company or his qualifying company. And Zetu will then be speaking second to explain how you can invest your taxes into this wonderful resort. So Luis, you're more than able to share your screen and you can get going whenever you feel free.
Thank you, Tristan. Thank you, welcome everyone. I'll be sharing with you my screen right now. But what's also important here, I'm not going to spell too much on the presentation as per se, because I will send it out due to time constraint. I would like us to have an open discussion, because here we have a project that is based in the Eastern Cape, Premier Resorts and Private Game Reserve. This project, it started by my interest, which has been always there, in terms of venturing into a hospitality kind of business, especially with the new trend that is called ecotourism. What really started to get this fuel going is the midst of the pandemic. As we can all appreciate, with the COVID, one of the hardest hit industries is your hospitality industry. The reason for that we all know, and I also do believe that the hospitality was our bread basket in terms of denting the unemployment and also bringing the much needed revenue. So I'm urging you, all of us here, that now let's put our hands together and revive the tourism sector. This relationship coming from my relationship with Lip Venter from Farm Vision, Ian Miller from Tactical Response, Mashibe Hole, she's the head of CEDA in Mpumalanga. What came up as just a small project of going into this, it became a reality when we met Mr. Sam Nasimov, the Premier Hotel Resort company CEO last year, and he had this game reserve and he was battling. So we came up and agreed that we can be able to come with the PKL Capital, which is a private equity company, that is, it will be able to address the funding that is needed for this kind of project. So let me just take you through now, if you allow me, through the slides. This is the project we are talking about in the Eastern Cape. As you can see on the picture where it's based, it's close to East London, which will also give us one of the luxuries of being 35 kilometers away from the airport. So which is also another selling point for people who are coming into the province. The economical merits of the project are there. We partnered with Impact Empowerment Ventures only because we know their background and we know what they've been doing, especially in the Section 12J space in the past 3 years or so. So your investment in this will be well looked after by Impact Empowerment Ventures, together with the team that we have formulated to take this project forward. First of all, the project, as I said earlier, it's about reviving what is ongoing and also trying to involve as much as possible in order for us to turn this around. The management will maintain it as it is currently ongoing with private Premier Hotel, which is Sam Nasimov is the CEO. I'll explain it to you guys when we go to the financials. How do we come to that? as you can appreciate, to put in a project of this magnitude with the capital from your investment, which will be very looked after by Impact Empowerment Ventures, we've assembled a team of highly entrepreneurship guys who they've proven themselves in their different fields. We've got Sam Nasimov, who has been heading the Premier Hotel and Resort International. From those who know, I first met Sam in 1992 when he was starting his first hotel in East London, King David Hotel. So I've worked with him all these years. I've got also Mr. Stephen Haynes, who's an accountant. He's been helping us with our project in the farm. So we're looking at also continuing that relationship. Lip Venter, many people will know him, is the MD for Farm Vision. He's got also another project that he's currently doing with us, which is he's going to assist in his capacity. And then lastly, you've got me there, who's wearing two caps, one from Impact and also for this particular project. The financing of this, our most important thing that now we are encountered is to try to raise equity from your taxes, flipping your taxes into Z2 will explain to you guys how you do that later on. But that will be our basis of our equity in this project. As you can see on my slide there, I've got your medium-term projections as well as the long-term. The business of this, we as PKL Capital, whatever we raise will give us the much needed share in this company. We're looking at acquiring 51%. That will also be used for, as you can see on my slide, the land and the improvements and the capital that is needed to grow. And below there, you'll find that there's Premier Hotel and Resorts. Premier have been running that establishment for the past 8 years. And currently, they are also embarking on their own mission, their own expansion. And many people have been asking me, why are you investing in the hospitality sector? I'm very happy to say that together with Sam, actually, we had a long discussion even about that from last year, because already he's got 2 or 3 hotels that they are currently refurbishing and also taking over new hotels, which means themselves as Premier, they are also putting their own capital in order to expand and make the brand sustainable, especially during these trying times. The current value of Mpongo is 160 million. We are hoping with your investment, with your taxes, we could be able to raise up to 50 million that will be able to offset this project. That is my conclusion, as per the slide. But also, I don't know if you allow, Tristan. Lastly, I want us to nudge you guys. First of all, my objective with this venture represents my acknowledgement of the importance of change as a catalyst for personal, business, and economic growth. And the year 2020 has taught us all that we don't have to really fear change, because it can be, if we embrace it, it can be a highly positive force in our lives. So this is a new thing, and I hope we can get this ball, all of us, going. Thank you.
Thank you, Loyiso. Now we'll just be passing over to Zetu to explain how someone can take their taxes and invest in this wonderful resort that's been going, this established resort. So Zetu, take it away with a big smile.
Thanks, Tristan. Thanks, Loyiso. And thanks to all the attendees. Now we're going to get to talk about exactly how you, as a South African taxpayer, can then have your taxes literally work for you. Not that they haven't, I'm not trying to slander anyone, but just to say how you can actually now take an opportunity and seize an opportunity rather of having your tax make you some money. But first, I'd like to just introduce us as Impact and this disclaimer. What I like mostly about this disclaimer is that it hits the nail on the head on exactly what it is that we are meeting for and what this presentation is all about. And it's paragraph 3 that I think puts it, maybe I would say, gives the gist of the matter. If I may just read it out. The primary purpose of this presentation is to present an investment opportunity to investors in an alternative asset class that offers potential significant returns on capital invested. Some statements in this document are forward-looking and involve risks and uncertainties. These generally include statements regarding future financial positions, prospects, growth in markets, projected costs, estimates of capital expenditure, and plans and objectives of the management of the QCs for the future operations. QCs are qualifying companies like the one Loyiso has just unpacked now. So for using Section 12J language, we call those qualifying companies, and in short, QCs. The actual performance could differ from the forward-looking statement. And of course, we confirm our FSP number there at the bottom. So this is the number that you can go to the FSCA to validate that genuinely we are a legit operation. Now, when you look at impact investing, when you look at our name, Impact Empowerment Ventures or Impact Investments, when you look at what impact investing is, it goes, usually when you read about it, it's together with ESG, which is environment, social and governance. You will learn that most of it is concentrated in environment, arts, and in culture. And what we have come to identify as IEV is to say, for us to be relevant and to actually meet the aspirations that we are aiming for, is to concentrate right there at the bottom end of the pyramid, which is jobs, housing, food security, education, clean energy, student accommodation, and of course, SME ownership, which is what actually had us sold the idea to us that Loyiso presented, to say, you know what, by holding hands with them, we are actually assisting in SME ownership. And in that way, we are playing our role in ensuring that financial institutions regain their saltiness. Now, this is our statement, the statement by which we live, in short, if I may call it our mantra. So if you were to visit our office, you'll find us meditating in our little corners. This is what we'll be meditating on. We meditate on enriching lives through opportunity. And by enriching, we mean enhanced risk-controlled returns, investment for change and hope. Enhanced risk-controlled, so that's what we do with risk. We don't run away from it, we rather mitigate it. Enhanced risk-controlled returns, investment for change and hope. Now, any investment that we take on, this is what we interrogate on. Any investment we take on, we look at its commercial merit we have, and we find that it's there. We look at the people working, management itself of the business, and of course the impact on the people around its community. We look at the risks we ascertain the risks of the business and see how best we can mitigate them. And the technological advancements are also interrogated, mainly because of, as you all know, with this 21st century, this is one other aspect we need to think about when we do business. Now, how then can you be part of this exciting opportunity? It is through Section 12J, which is an extreme tax break that is by the National Treasury through the South African Revenue Taxes. South African Revenue Services, rather. It's an investment for every high tax-paying investor. I do not know of any tax-paying somebody who does not consider themselves a high tax-paying someone. Who can invest using Section 12J? It is individuals. It is Section 12J partnerships. These are individuals who do not meet the minimum gross salary, so we partner them up together. It is trusts. It is companies. And your investment is a full write-off against your income tax. So whatever you invest, it is deductible from your income tax. And it is in the venture capitalism, and it's for 5 years. So when you invest via Section 12J, you are invested for 5 years. You cannot invest and then want to be out in year 2 or 3. You're solidly invested for 5 years. How? You need $1 million first. You need to give $1 million first. And with most asset managers having a team of expensive people your million gets eaten into, and at the end of the 5 years, you really do get a surprise, as most of them are genuinely looking. This is not slanderous talk, it's genuinely true. They're looking for the next big thing. So, you know, such things as SME ownership is really not given that much attention, even though you have paid that million first, because Section 12J requires the minimum is $1 million. So the minimum is $1 million. For individuals and trusts, the maximum you can invest is 2.5 million, and then for companies is 5 million. But that million that you see up there is what you need to put up front. And this needs to happen before the end of June, as you can see in that bottom, I would say, bullets, if I may call it that, at the bottom there, that before the end of June, we need to have this done. That's what makes us a little bit hurried about this. But then how we've come to make it a little bit more exciting and open the door wider for you as an investor to say, no, you don't necessarily need to have the $1 million up front. When you do it via Impact Empowerment Ventures, we require a securing deposit of 25,000. Even that securing deposit of 25,000 does not have to be paid in full, but at least 10% of that needs to be paid before end of June. And with that, we now have a key that unlocks a door to you now playing in this space where we have a sister company, Impact Cash Management, that loans you $1 million as a taxpayer. This $1 million is then used is then invested rather in Impact Empowerment Ventures, and through Impact Empowerment Ventures, it is then invested in Loyiso's project. So you as a taxpayer need to actually pay a securing deposit. At this stage, we can generally say, if you don't have the full 25K, you need to pay 2,500. That allows this to happen, where you are raised an investment loan that you will present to Impact Empowerment Ventures to invest on your behalf. What this then does is that it allows you to actually file your, when you're filing your tax returns together with your RP5, you submit this investment certificate together with your RP5, then SARS deducts this $1 million from your taxable income. In this example we've made, this person has invested $1 million, which is the minimum, and has actually been paying 40% tax. So what it has done, what actually has happened is, you can see on the left, they've got an investment asset of $1 million, having paid the securing deposit of 25K. Then in this geared investment structure, the investor's loan account has 400,000 cash, and the remainder is then the debt portion. What happens then with this debt portion? Are you as an investor now in a position where now you are now needing to pay loans now that you didn't know about? But it's not like that. Before I get ahead of myself, that 400,000 is the money you as an investor will be getting back from SARS. Remember, in this example, this person earned $1 million, they've invested $1 million, they pay 40% tax. So SARS then deducts the $1 million they've invested from their taxable income and rebates them the 400,000. The 400,000 is given to you as an investor, and you give it to us. That's how we then use your taxes to work for you. Then the 600,000 debt is refinanced on the project. So the risk is shifted away from the investor, but the investor enjoys the considerable upside potential. It is the qualifying company that then is responsible for paying the 600,000, and it's available to them as an interest-free loan, the 600,000. So in the 5 years that you are invested in Section 12J, the project has been given a benchmark of 1.5 at least, and at most 2.5. So in the 5 years, we're looking to make sure that, having given us 400K, you are at least getting returns of up to 600,000, or at least 600,000, and at most 1 million in the 5 years. So you as an investor do not have to pay anything other than the 25,000, and when you receive the rebate from SARS, to then cede it to us. With that, I'd like to thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We are available. We will be working over the weekend, even on Sunday, because this is coming to an end by the end of this very month. Minister Mboweni has closed it off. What to do now? The question is, what do I then do to actually seize this opportunity? We sign a commitment to invest form. We have those available. We get a securing deposit in place. I can't say it enough. The 25,000 does not have to be paid in full right now. So you just get the securing deposit in place signed. You pay the 2,500, at least that's the 10%. You complete some required documentation. This is just the initial phase of the transaction, but we are available to assist you with any help you may need. Thank you very much, Tristan, and thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, Zetu, for that. That is short and sweet. We'll just open the floor to any questions, basic questions that we want. But in the meantime, while you guys think, I did put the website up, so it's easy to contact us and it's easy to email us as well through the website. And as you can see on Zetu's slides, he did put up the email address, but also you can contact us on our various social media platforms. We're freely available, easy to contact. And like Zetu said, this is a big opportunity. And I mean, it's just your tax. It's not really the end of the world. It's either going to SARS or invest in a small SME. So yeah. I don't see any questions there, Zetu. You must have done a really good job.
I guess so, yes. There aren't any, but we will be in contact with the attendees just as a follow-up session to just touch base with them in learning. Some people are genuinely not comfortable in asking questions in public, but we'll be still in contact with them and follow up with since they've attended.
That sounds like a great idea. We'll be doing that. And Loyiso, is there any other things you would like to say? Yes, Martin, we will be sending out the presentation, so do not stress about that as well. Also with other documents. So if you are interested, you can sign back and email back to us. Very easy, along with a presentation that explains this as well. So you can probably see the big happy man there, with these big smiles there too. So he can do it again.
Yeah.
Luis, was there any last remarks there before you are on mute, sir? You know, this Zoom mute thing is also an issue.
Yeah, these things. Hey, Loyi, you're on mute, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, guys. I was just saying the Premier brand actually is an iconic brand, and I think we should use this to promote more inclusivity. You know, people that are investing in this project, they're not showing their investment because the company has been ongoing for past 20 years, and they are forging ahead. You know, I mean, I was quite shocked. You know, the investment that this guy is putting up in this. So it's quite a very interesting investment in terms of investors' point of view. You know, they will reap their benefits.
They will, no? Okay, definitely. Thanks, Joey.
All right, thank you, guys. Thanks, Mr. T.
Thank you. Zetu, any last remarks? Because I think we have no questions, so we might as well just close off the meeting.
I can't emphasize it enough. My last remarks is that genuinely this is the final of the finals, man. The next week Wednesday, by next week Thursday, we can't have this language again. We can't speak this language again. And this is an opportunity to just actually what we were actually doing with 25,000. We are asking SARS to give us our taxes and use them as we wish. I mean, that isn't heaven. Use them as we wish. And in the process, look, we are growing the tax base. That's true. I mean, with Louis and with partnering up with Premier Resorts. Premier brand rather. He's not only he's partnered with Fundis, so it's not like he still needs to figure this thing out by himself. You know, it's genuinely an opportunity worth taking because you'd rather be having that. And at the end of the 5 years, you are then going to be proud to say, you know what, I've increased the tax base of the country. In the process, I've made some money. You know, what's wrong with that? And all it costs you. Right now, I would say the immediate cash is 2005 right now, but in total 25K.
Yeah, and as far as I know, that can be paid over a couple of months. So
definitely.
Yeah. We are all ready to sign up anyone interested. Contact our offices, and then you'll get all the information from there. All the information,
that's true.
Okay. I see no questions, so I think we can wait. Wait. One more question.
Martin.
Just wait, Luisa. I know you're an excited person there. Okay, so someone's actually got a really good question. What will the management structure be in the medium and long term? And what will each party's involvement be? So I think this is a duo question.
So we as IEV will take a seat at the board. I think if I quite remember correctly, Dave did say after 2 years upon getting into business with the qualifying company, we do take a seat at the board as well. But Louis did share the management structure of the company. If you can expand on that, please, Louis. Hey, he's muted. You're muted, my man.
Initially, what's going to happen is that we are buying a stake into Premier, you know, so that will allow us also to get into that management structure. That is the first level. And then, as you have also alluded, Impact will be part of the decision makers, Impact Empowerment Ventures. You know, that is the first, that's how the structure is consistent at the moment.
And at the end of the 5 years, the investors themselves are then worked out. Remember, the Section 12J does compel, or does actually give a directive to say no one can own more than 20%. That's one. Secondly, the investors will then be worked out. This is beginning of year 6. So they will be owning an equity stake. They have an equity stake in the business, but then 5 years, they are worked out to say, then this is the value of your investment. And then what it's supposed to do is to show the SMEs that you started supporting in previous the 5 years before, standing by themselves, because that's the whole aim. The whole aim is to make sure that these business endeavors succeed, and we can show it by actually even removing these investors to say now this company now can actually stand by itself. And then of course, if investors still choose to invest, that's their prerogative, but they need to be shown to be worked out. And we can see the magic we've been doing in 5 years.
Yeah, so okay, I'm glad you understood that. If there are no more questions, I think we can just end the session. So I'd like to say thank you all so much for attending on this Thursday morning. I know I don't know about the Eastern Cape, but I know Joburg's pretty cold. So okay,
it's cold there as well.
It's cold, my man. It's raining, yeah.
Well, you deserve it.
So, like I said, before we get too rowdy there and tuning everyone, but please stay warm, please stay safe, and I hope everyone is just doing well. So thank you all. Please enjoy your day, and